Right away, I knew something was wrong. I wasn't greeted by the goldies squawking. In fact, silence was the only greeting that I got.
Chicken!
There was only one other time when silence ruled the land, and that was before the chickens or I were here. I had had my revenge, but the raccoons were back for theirs, and this time, they brought friends.
At this point, it's hard to tell what the squirrels did and what the raccoons did, but it looks like they are back for more. And this time, they are showing no mercy.
The endless cycle of revenge can't go on forever. Eventually, one side will be the only side. And I personally didn't want to partake in a genocide, so I decided to play in the creek to cool off. Water is incredible when you look closely. It's all around us, but so often forgotten. It's able to take the shape of just about anything it's put into, but given time, it's also able to shape pretty much anything. It's cool, calm, and constantly finding its own level, but if needed, it can easily level a city. Water can be destructive, but it's very forgiving. This creek is a fine example of that. As time goes on, the water will continue to erode the creek's edge until there's nothing left. I'd spent the last few weeks thinking about what I could do to stop it, and eventually I just gave up. There's an old saying that goes something like, "You can't fight Darude Sandstorm." That doesn't sound quite right. You can't fight gargantuan sandworms. That sounds better, but I don't think that's what I'm looking for. Well, whatever the saying is, the idea is that it's better to work with and around unstoppable forces, and that's what I planned on doing here. I wanted to work with the creek to improve the land, and there were several things I wanted to start with. I knew my work would put a lot of debris into the water, and that's just very impolite to those downstream, so my first task was to make a simple dam to act as a temporary, primitive silt trap.
I built a dam down there, and the idea is that the silt will come in, the water will come in here, and the silt will get trapped in here, and the clay will go down there. There's definitely silt layering the bottom. Now I just gotta figure out a way to collect it.
Now, I had done this the previous week, but it wasn't very effective and I had no way to collect the silt material. So my first task was to improve the existing trap and set up a way to collect the silt. Well, actually, my first task was to drop my phone in the water. My phone is my camera, and I had previously dropped it while recording and broke the screen. So it may come as no surprise that the water messed it up quite a bit.
Okay, well. No, I broke my screen!
It wasn't until Tuesday morning that I was able to use it again. So here's what I got done in the meantime. I get it, you probably don't see the difference, but that's because most of what I did was underwater. Rocks in the creek come in all shapes and sizes, and what I did was attempt to gather them all up, and then I planned to layer the bed with smooth stone so I could easily gather the silt with some sort of mesh netting. But that meant removal of a ton of rocks. I tried to separate the rocks into 4 grades. Fine gravel that's chilling at the bottom of the creek bed, good looking gravel, alright looking gravel, and rockin' gravel? At this point, I can't even really call it gravel. The only thing I can really call it is rocks. Anyway, the way I kept them separate was by hauling them from my creek all the way to behind my shelter, and I realize you can't see everything, so here. I cut together just a little snippet of me walking that route in real time. Honestly, that takes way too much time, effort, and energy. So I decided to start working on another project that would increase efficiency, but this is all the footage you get of it. Why? Because it's got its own video on the way.
Next, all we gotta do is cut the edges and lay some rock as the edges, and then we can backfill with the rock we just took out and clean.
Okay, now we should be all caught up on the days you missed while in a jar of rice. So let's get to work.
Ah, dang it. I was just about to start recording some stuff and it has started raining, so I can't record. I'm gonna have like no footage this week. That's gonna be really awkward. Oh well.
Oh well, indeed. Waterworks can be really boring to watch, so it's not like you're gonna miss much, but Waterworks is incredibly relaxing. Water is cool, calm, and level-headed. Looking back to Saturday when I'd found my chicken missing, I made a choice to be like water. I made a choice to be cool and rational in my thinking and actions, and I hope to continue to make that choice every day. But back to the silt trap. Typical silt traps work by digging a hole and then letting the water swirl around in the hole before moving on. And in a lot of respects, this is the same concept except a little longer and a little wider. But just to be safe, I did dig a hole near the dam about 2 feet deep just for you. So why do I need this silt trap? Well, for starters, I'm hoping to improve the bank of the creek, and there'll be a lot of material going into the creek because that's just how gravity works. But also because I do a lot of washing things, whether that be tools, or food, or dishes, or heck, even rocks. All that material except the clay can break down into some really nice soil. And good soil is really hard to come by around here. A silt trap allows me to collect that, thereby improving the land. But there is also another reason why I spent a whole week working in the water.
I am a Disney princess. I had no idea. I was just writing a script and then this butterfly came up and landed on my hand. I didn't even hold it out. It's very beautiful though.
I am just your average guy in the forest. I'm not exceptionally strong, smart, or resilient. And the work I'm doing, while rewarding, is incredibly difficult and tiring. It's hot and incredibly humid, and most nights I don't get more than a few hours of sleep. As time goes on, I get more and more worn out, and eventually I'll have to stop. And I think everybody would. This week's work could be considered a break, though I definitely did a lot of hard work. Water is healing and restful, and I'd hope that by working in it, I'd feel more rested for next week's work. This was a cool and calm decision to improve my overall well-being. I want to be able to work hard when needed, and I want to be able to rest well when necessary. I want to make cool, level-headed decisions and actions every time. I want to be like water.
It is like ominously thundering, and it's getting dark really fast, so I don't know what's about to happen, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be bad, but stay tuned.
Which is why when it started to rain Thursday morning, this was my reaction.
It is indeed raining. All of my plans for this next week were outside. It wasn't supposed to rain. So, what to do now? I guess I could always work on my storage shed. Hey, you like these bricks?
Now, I could have worked on the storage shed, but I didn't. Until the rain stopped, I just sat there, enjoying it. The best parts of life are when you sit back, quiet down, and listen. You can only begin to fully experience and love life when you can go with the flow, enjoying every boring moment along the way. It's been a tough 2 months in the wild, but I feel like I'm finally reaching a new level within myself. I'm slowly washing away the unhealthy parts of me to reveal the calm, gentle, forgiving man who can enjoy the little things just as much as the grand, monumentous moments.
Oh my goodness, look at how cute this turtle is. That is adorable.
I'm still a work in progress, but one day I want to take the shape of who I'm meant to be. And I want to shape what I can. I want to be like water.
I was just working in the creek and I cut myself on a rock. That's pretty bad. So I guess that's gonna put a hold on our creek work for now, and I wasn't even done with the silt trap. So I guess I'll have to do something with gloves on. It is what it is.